Manuel Bojorquez joins us now from Grange, Texas, where hundreds have been ordered to evacuate. Manuel, we've seen some other areas in and around the city of Houston where it seemed like the water was receding a little bit. Clearly not happening here.
No, of course, the Colorado River, really everything funnels into it in this area. And so that's why you have all the rain that's fallen north of here starting to stream down here, and we're definitely seeing it. It's incredible to see, actually, how fast the water has risen here. This is Highway 71, or it was Highway 71 through LaGrange. You can see it's now part of the Colorado River. We have businesses throughout this section of the city that are now taking in water, and we have rapids in the middle of town here. Now, this is something that officials knew was going to happen, so they ordered evacuations. They have 2 shelters here in Fayette County that are open for people who needed to get out of harm's way, and this is exactly why. We've seen them actually circling around in an airboat, because that's probably going to be the only way they can get to anyone who did not get out in time. Now, the big problem here, of course, is not only for this community, but many communities along the Colorado River, about 100 miles southeast of us here in Bay City, Texas. They've already ordered a mandatory evacuation for people there. They want everybody out by 1 p.m. because they know this kind of flooding is coming. They expect up to 10 feet of water in downtown Bay City, and they don't feel that they can get police, fire, and EMS to respond to people at that time. So just an incredible situation developing here, not just in Houston, but you can see that the real flood emergency is emerging in many other places in Texas right now.
And so, Manny, what is next for the folks that are still perhaps stuck in their homes, still perhaps unable to get to a safe place? What kind of first responder activity are you seeing? We know from some of the other correspondents that we've spoken to, for example, David Begnaud told us in Bel Air, they were not going to be able to respond to anybody unless it was a life or death situation. What are you hearing there where you are?
Well, we do know that officials are standing by, and they will do whatever they can when it is a life and death situation. But again, when they say it's a mandatory evacuation, they're telling you, you're on your own if we can't get to you, if it's going to endanger people. We have seen them stop people from trying to get closer way down there on Highway 71. And again, we've seen them in an airboat. That may be the only way they can get to people right now. But I can tell you right now, just standing in this water, and for anybody who's still trying to get out of a home, it's pretty tough. And so the deeper you get, this is a pretty swift current, and it's going to be very, very dangerous. So like we've been saying, law enforcement, that's the reason they've been telling people to try to get out ahead of this, because they don't want to endanger themselves if they're trying to get to people who weren't able to get out or did not heed the warnings. They will try in life and death situations, but again, they got to look and consider their own lives as well.
Manny, I don't know if you got a chance to talk to some of the people living in the area. You know, Vlad and I have been kind of going through some of the previous storms. 2001, the destruction from Allison, $5 billion. Also in 2015, Memorial Day, the Houston area saw a lot of rain and flooding. And based on the way you've described this area, it seems like it's seen flooding that was pretty bad before this, but I'm wondering how this stacks up against what's happened before.
Yeah, they have had some bad flooding going back to 1998, and in fact, the river did crest above 50 feet back in 1935. It's expected to go beyond that today. It could reach a level that has not been seen in more than a century.
Wow.
So yes, people here are used to seeing flooding because they live next to the river, and they know this can happen from time to time. But the word we keep hearing over and over, not only in Houston, but in areas like this, is that the flooding could very well be record levels and unprecedented.
And certainly one thing that has changed since that 50-foot flood in 1935, there are a lot more people living in the area. Manuel Bojorquez, thank you very much, Manny. Stay safe.